by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet who millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
You live here?
Yes.
Well, maybe you know what a zombie is.
When a person dies and is buried, it seems there are certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
Horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
The jokes wrote themselves today. We're riding around. First we wanted to see it before I decided to get out the car. And I'm like, oh, lady, if you only knew I was going to make you famous tonight. So those of you who don't know, let me tell you where Boca Raton is. Boca Raton is about 15 miles north of Fort Lauderdale, about an hour north of Miami, maybe 3 hours south of Daytona, right on the coast of, east coast of the peninsula of South Florida. Boca Raton is mainly known for a retiree area, a pretty affluent area, and I had to go down today because I'm like, this is going to be fun. And I dragged Robin with me. She ended up being security for me. And I'm like, she's like, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. I've never done this before. So before I try to talk to anybody and have them confirm what we feel about them, let's just ride around and take a look at these zombies. And I could not believe what I was seeing. I'm like, first of all, let me give you some demographics. Most of these people probably take Geritol on a daily or twice daily basis. Most of these people probably have orthopedic surgeons, I go to one for my knees, but these guys have them on speed dial. I'm like, wait a second. They're all white. I mean, there may have been, I don't know, 2 black people, and they were the ones pushing the wheelchairs. they were the ones who brought Miss Daisy to the reunion, the Woodstock reunion. And I'm like, are we serious? This is a protest? Maybe up in Washington, maybe in Boston or New York City, but damn, y'all should have just, hey, how about we not do Boca, okay? Maybe it ain't gonna have the same kind of effect. Because it was 99 as Robin said, I said 99, she can know that. It was 99.99% white. It was 99.99% people over the age of 60. It was 99.99% people who lost their absolute minds. And then, as I'm going to show you as proof, most of the people weren't even from here. I didn't see any buses, but I saw a bunch of license plates. I'm like, I know what's going on here right now. See, one of the things that you may not know about South Florida is we have things called snowbirds. And these snowbirds are affluent people from other parts of the country who don't want to go through the winter, so they come flocking down to here. We always see them. We can see the New Yorkers. They stand out like a country mile. They're in the grocery store. They're the ones elbowing you, thinking hey, you know who I am? I don't give a shit who you are. Okay, you're the person going to be in line behind me. That's who you are. Those kind of people. And I knew it was going to be fun because last night we went out to dinner and the restaurant was packed. Absolutely packed. Looked around, I'm like, well, doesn't seem like there's much of a, recession or panic going on down here. And the funniest thing happened. I swear to God, God heard it too. We're standing there and I'm getting ready to pick out who I'm going to go talk to. And lo and behold, they end up parking next to us. I'm like, this is going to be perfect. So she's on the phone talking to a friend. Are you coming down? There's a lot of people here. Ira, you need to come on down. And Ira on the other end, true story, his name, is there some place with shade? I don't want to be standing in the sun. That's the protesters we had here. No, I'm not coming if they got to stand in the shade. Is there some place that's not like 95 in the sun? You'll be okay, Ira. We're all together. We got water. It was hilarious. I mean, it was fun. I've never done it before. And now I'm like, I can't do without this. I must have this as a part of my daily repertoire. I must now absolutely buy equipment so I can have a microphone to give to people and speak to them because this is gold. I don't know if you've ever been to a protest, but maybe you've been to a protest in a blue city and it might be different. But this one was like, oh, I'm good. I don't feel any fear whatsoever. And my pit bull was with me, and she about bum rushed one lady. Lady got a little bit too close. She's like, you better step. And she actually told her, you better step back. I'm like, damn, girl, you go ahead. You're going to come with me from now on. Because she's like, I don't trust him. If one of these people, Robin, the lady was 5'2", 72, and I don't think she was going to be any sort of threat to me. But, you know, you love your woman standing up for you like that. She's bowed up. Don't step too close to her. You'll see the lady. I'm like, Robin, she was like tiny. I could like pooped on her and she would have get blown away. Oh. But let's look at some more of this. So here's what you're going to be looking at. Before we decided to take our parking space, wanted to, scout it out, make sure there wasn't no Antifas, no black bloc, anything like that. And we found out very quickly there wasn't no Antifas. There wasn't even any Tifas. The Tifas was gone. And I'm like, wow, these people pulled across the stone and went, yay, we're going to protest. It's like bringing a band back together in 1965. Oh, they have purpose in their life, even if they have no sense in their life. And you're going to hear, I've told you many, many times, if you ever get a chance to speak to a libnut, it's very simple. Just ask the question, watch as the RCA dog turns his head, and that they can't figure out what to say, and then when they say something, just do a follow-up on what they just said. And then they discombobulate and run. And I didn't know that was going to happen. Well, I kind of knew. I've asked people before. I told you. Just be nice. I made sure because of my size. I didn't want anyone to feel intimidated. Big black man might come get me. And I came up to them with a smile. Just made them feel very comfortable. And I shivved the hell out of them. Because you'll see this guy goes, you can actually see him just go like that while I'm talking to him. They had nothing. And I'm thinking, some of these people are probably wealthy. Some of these people, have come from other areas. And then you realize they're never used to talking to somebody. They're never used to somebody actually asking them a question. See, if I was going to plan this protest, I would make sure everybody got a sheet of paper, and everybody got their paper, or they got their text or something, and on the text it would say, excuse me, okay, so if anyone asks you, number one question, if anyone asks you, why are you here? Maybe that might be the first question to get, you get ready for. Why are you here? I'm here because I don't like Elon Musk and President Trump is a fascist. Okay, what's a fascist? Huh? What's a fascist? It's all over. I mean, I didn't go with the fascist guy because he didn't go there, but I went someplace else with somebody, and they were like, they were done. And then I almost caught some guy in a racist question. Then he realized, wait. You're messing with my head. You're MAGA, but you're black. And so I got to readjust it. No, I don't mean it that way. I almost caught you, old man, didn't I? You almost said you're one of those MAGA racists. And you thought to yourself, well, that's not going to work on this guy. So maybe you thought he was talking to Robin. You're one of those MAGA racists. No, it didn't even come up to that. He realized when he said it, and you'll see him, he'll catch himself and go, I don't. Ooh. How about you just go away, sir? I'm not harassing you. Just fine. Hey, you have a great day. Idiot. And then by the time you capture somebody, then they call reinforcements. And so the reinforcements started coming with the walkers and wheelchairs. And I'm like, oh. And I was like, am I going to have to push you off the curb or something? You going to bite my ankles? Oh, this was the most embarrassing thing for Democrats I've ever seen. Yes, I will admit, they probably had in Boca 2,500 people or so show up. You'll see them, along the lines and down the street and around the corner. The line was, where they were stood. The cops, I saw one. It was so docile, the police didn't even show up. There was one police officer, and he was blocking people from parking in the police department's parking lot. Other than that, they're all standing on the corner waving to people. So Robin trolled the hell out of them. You'll see the video we get, and people are clapping and everything. Because Robin's driving, I'm taking the video, and she's going like this to him. And they think, because I guess I'm black, oh yeah, the black man, he must be for us. So let's keep looking. This dude shows up with the upside down flag, and minutes after I saw that, he couldn't hold on to it because he probably had his arthritis was acting up so bad. Whoa, it's windy. Oh, it's gone. Hey, it's hot out here. I'm just gonna sit down. Okay, I'm gonna sit on the curb and just hold up the sign. Because MAGA is a scam, but you know what? Scamming is tough right now. It's like pimping. I'm going to have to just sit here and hold up my sign. Okay. Notice people running for the shade, people trying to stay cool out there. I thought to myself as we were out here, and it was pretty warm, just to tell you the truth, it was warm, but I was in an air conditioning car. But in any event, I thought to myself as we're driving, maybe that's the key. Make sure it stays warm. Do whatever you need to do with the chemtrails, because it's going to kill everything down here in terms of people wanting to go protest. But I'll tell you what, they're probably going to have another summer of love up north. I wouldn't doubt they start burning stuff, because this didn't work. I mean, this really failed, because remember, as they're doing this all around the country, and the whole 10,000 or whatever show up in Boston and everything, you know what Trump was doing today? Completely relaxed. Don't care. Right? You notice they're not at, up where he is in Palm Beach. Dude back there again, lounging on. It's hot, man. Can we go home now? What time is dinner? Like 4:30? Because, like Seinfeld and Dobell Boca Vista, they got to get back and hurry up. And it's hot out here, man. This ain't like it used to be. I found this to be so funny and so indicative of Boca. Here come the Transformers. And nobody wanted to stand next to it. Like, yell on your own. All right, go over there. We ain't for all that. Just to let you know, I'm glad you're here. But nobody wanted to be around them. They were just off by themselves. Crowd, empty. And then more people. We're not down with that. It was so embarrassing. These people and the one that's hiding, because you should have saw that one. Nobody came up to them. That is so embarrassing for the Democrats, because these people really, really had no clue. Oh, look, a black guy. 99.99%, and he's there probably to help the lady in the wheelchair. There's a we got the Ukrainian flag, and Doge is a disaster on the Ukrainian flag. Wow, people. I'm telling you, it was hot as hell. It must have been 90 in the shade, probably like the feels like temperature was probably like 95, bright sunny day. And you like see the guys hanging out in the grove over there in the grotto, just hot out here. I'm not used to this. You know why he's not used to it? Well, let me tell you why so many people were diving for the shade. Because they're not from here. The heat doesn't sneak up on us. The only time the heat sneaks up on you when you get off a plane or you get out of your car and you haven't had any time to acclimate and you're like, there's no air. How do these people breathe down here? I've had relatives that have come to see me and they're like, oh, I can't wait to get there. How am I going to get off the plane? There's no air. How do you people breathe? Seriously, if you've come from Chicago or New York or Boston or someplace where you're not used to this humidity, when it first hits you in the face, bam, it hits you hard. You're watching in the back, all the people hanging by in the shade. So that was basically one city block that we took a right and went just kept going because it was kind of funny. The other thing you can tell when people aren't from here, another way is like when you go outside in South Florida in the spring or summer. We don't really have a spring. It's like hot. We have winter, which is cool, and we have hot. We don't have spring. It just stays hot. And one thing you notice when you go outside and you go to different places, people who live here usually have light colored clothing, and they know to wear sunglasses and they wear hats. And then you get people who aren't from here and they show up and they have black t-shirts on and stuff, or dark colored t-shirts. You're like, you ain't from around here, is you? We kind of can recognize that you're not from here. So that's where I got it. And so as I was walking around, it's just too much. Let me stop because I'm gonna laugh myself through the rest of this, and I love to take some of your comments because it was just too. You could tell I had a great time. Do they even know who Elon Musk is? I don't think so, because if they do, no Democrat can influence them to join the Democrat. What was somebody had a comment here. David Gray, hands off what? One of the problems that I've told you that the Democrats have is messaging. And you just highlighted one of the problems. Exactly. Hands off what? Hands off my Social Security. Hands off my Medicare. Hands off democracy. Those were kind of things. Hands off of you know what, okay? As if all those things are under the auspices of what Elon Musk is doing. It's absolutely crazy. Remember visiting Fiji from New Zealand in the winter, get off the plane, was like walking into a boiler room. I'm thinking that these zombies were told that there was an all-you-can-eat buffet after. Oh God, it was too funny. I've got my floral shorts and shorts all ready to go. Oh my gosh. It was too funny. Same here in Louisiana. If you weren't used to the heat, you end up getting embarrassed real quickly. I bet you there was more responses by the EMTs to the people. Oh, Jesus, help me. It's so damn hot out here. I saw people getting with big jugs of water. It was fun. It's so funny. Oh, half of them were probably Canadian Snowbirds. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me see if I can play this because there's no audio for a portion of it before I get to the crazy that I interviewed. Hold on, I want you to see this. And I understand all sizes don't fit all. Obviously. Okay, so these were the early people. It was supposed to start at 12:30 or 1. They were there like 12 o'clock, not having a clue. There was nobody directing anybody. There was nobody who had any idea where they were supposed to go, what they were supposed to do. You know, normally when you see these things, there's chants, down, blah, blah, blah. They were just standing there. And I'm waiting for the chants or someone with the little microphone, the blowhorn. What do you call this thing? Megaphone thingies. Hey, okay, everybody, we got fascists. There's nobody there. These old people are just standing around like, what time they serving lunch? You know what? I kind of feeling like something's wrong down here, and they're just walking around, just. Look at these people you're looking at right there. That's how you know these people aren't from here. This dude has long jeans on. The guy standing next to the transformer, this is a real transformer, whatever you call it. But he's standing there and he's got long dungarees on. We don't even wear shoes down here. What time's this thing end? I need to go home. They didn't look. They had nothing. The other lady sitting next to her on a bench, just holding the sign down. It was pathetic. Democrats, this is Loserville. Whoever planned this did not plan it right at all. They look like they're waiting for the bus. If you didn't know any better, it's like, what time are they picking us up and going back to the villages or something? Look, dude, your sign that you spent the time to write, you've got it down instead of holding it up. The other ones was, hey, what's on Twitter right now? I don't know. What time's the buffet start? March for our lives. Other dude sitting there. This was how it was. And I've got the mic on. So it's not like I'm suppressing any sound or silencing it. And that's me. That's the group that was Robin, my security team. Security team said, you know what, I'm going to just watch to make sure. So the lady in the hat with the glasses, she was the lady who decided she was going to basically, step towards me. And that was the lady that Robin was ready to just absolutely rip to shreds. And I'm like, Robin, look at me and look at her. Look at me and look at her. I was okay. She's like, well, they might have come at you in a group. Here's a hint. I'm pretty sure the guys wanted no part, none whatsoever. So even if the lady got a little bit squirrely, the most she was going to do is swing her pocketbook at me. No pain would be inflicted. None whatsoever. So she's sitting there and Robin's taking a picture of me talking to them. And this is where I started to interview them. They literally parked in the car right next to us. And I said, Robin, this is going to be fun. I've never done it before. You guys know I do interviews on here all the time. I've never walked up to someone and decided to start talking to them. And I realize I can be an imposing figure. I am 6'2", and a half, and I weigh about 330 pounds. And these people are 70 and 68 and a little lady. And so I knew, and here's a hint for you guys. If you ever want to talk to some liberals who look unassuming, they don't look like they were ready to attack me. So I didn't have any reason to have my guard up. Plus I had the pit bull with me. So I walked up with a big smile. Hey, how are you? Just try to make them feel completely at ease. They don't know what I'm doing until they had the first question. And then once they had the first question, it became kind of obvious, like, oh, this is not a friend. No, I'm a foe. I'm an adversary. I'm just a big smiley teddy bear. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to embarrass the hell out of you. Yeah. I'm going to let you hear it in a second. But the guy, excuse me, The guys there, they realize it too. At that point, they're like, "Phew, this is one big ass black dude, and we don't see any of our type over here who want to mess with him. So maybe we should just talk and keep walking." Yeah, yep. That's what, like. All right, we're done here. Are we done? Are we done? Seriously? Are you guys done? Yeah, you're out of here. Okay. Yeah, and notice I didn't try to impede them. As they started walking, I knew, get out their way. Don't seem like you're harassing them. I'm telling you this in case you go to something and you want to talk to somebody. Whatever you do, don't let them feel like you are harassing them or threatening to them. Even though with my size, I was like, "Hi, okay, have a great day. Hope you sweat your asses off." By the way, that hat which you got, that ain't gonna help you. It's not gonna help you. It's all right. Here's a bunch of people down here protesting in Boca. All right, so this is when I started the interview. I started the interview by saying to the camera, just showing, blah, blah, blah. And the lady was listening to me. And when she was listening to me, she didn't like what I said. So I'm just going to play this so you guys can hear it. Along the street. Bet you most of them aren't from here as they're walking over. So I'll find out where they park. But that's it. That's it on a great sunny day here in Boca Raton, South Florida. And most of the people have no idea why they're here. All right, so I want to play this, and I just wanted to take an interlude. As I was walking through the parking lot, and as YouTube would want me to, I blocked out the actual license plate number so nobody's private information would be put out there. That's not what I'm about. But as this plays, you're going to see there are people from all over and not really from here. New York, Massachusetts. I think the next one is from Connecticut. It's a long way to come to protest, isn't it? Connecticut. What's the next one? Next one is, I think that was from New York as well. This one's from New York. The other one was Pennsylvania. That's what that one was. So they're not from here. There's Pennsylvania right there. That's important to know. Ordinarily, you would see cars in South Florida from other places because we get so many tourists. And what these people are, I'm thinking, I don't think anyone drove to Boca Raton, Florida to come to a protest. So this is telling me these are Democrats who are snowbirds here in South Florida. We're loaded with them. They are everywhere. Which the funny part is, these are people who enjoy the lifestyle, enjoy what Ron DeSantis has done, enjoy the conservative laws of South Florida, but yet want to still come out here and protest. And this is one of the things I've told you guys many times. I know Democrats lie because they come down here and they fake it. They're out there. They're all coming down here because they don't want to be up north because it's cold. So they come on down here and they pretend like they're great liberals, but everything they do, from their retirement accounts, from everything they do business-wise, tax havens, homesteading, they're all full of crap. Now, I said a couple of things that you may not understand. Homesteading. Homesteading in South Florida is if you have a property, condo or a house, and you what's called homesteading. Homesteading, basically, how can I say it in layman's terms? It freezes your tax. The property tax. The property tax that Ron DeSantis is trying to do away with. So it freezes your tax. So if you buy at a certain time, it's based upon your purchase price. And normally, everywhere else in the country, your property taxes may raise according to the value of your property. Here, you lock in. So they're not going to keep going up. Number two, creditors can't take your property. It's a huge selling point. That's why you see so many gazillionaires come down here and buy massive properties, it's insane. There are people down here who have $10 million, $20 million houses who don't even live in them. They just park the money here. There's a place called Jupiter Island. Jupiter Island, most people don't know about, but it rivals Palm Beach Island where Mar-a-Lago is. Jupiter Island is a small enclave about 1 mile long. And on that 1 mile, and it sits right on the beach and the intercoastal. And everything on that island is 10, 15, 20, 30 million dollars. To give you an idea who lives there, Nick Saban, when he retired from coaching Alabama, he bought a huge property on Jupiter Island. Celine Dion. You know, she's a liberal, right? Yeah, she owns a property, or used to at least, on Jupiter Island. Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy and like 3 or 4 other big name golfers, they own property on Jupiter Island. And it's rumored to be that somebody big in the Democrat Party has also purchased an estate on Jupiter Island. That person is none other than Nancy Pelosi. So they're all moving here. They're all investing here. Palm Beach Island, obviously you know Mar-a-Lago, but that's old wealth, and you've got some new people, you know, sprinkled in. Sean Hannity bought a house there. Rush Limbaugh used to live there. The Kennedy compound. So you're talking about people who have generational wealth. Republicans and Democrats have come to Florida to take advantage of A, the lifestyle, B, the weather, and C, heavy, big time tax breaks. The same people who talk to you and want to lecture you about doing your fair share are tanking and hiding money here in South Florida. And it's everywhere, and it's an open secret. I don't know if you saw, was it last year or the year before? AOC and her boyfriend were on Miami Beach. Miami? What's AOC doing in Miami? Oh, okay. They all do it. They all do it. It's insane. You would absolutely crack up if you saw all the different people that come down here. And so they end up basically hiding money, for lack of a better word. It's not hiding. It's legal. There is nothing wrong with buying a mansion down here, declaring homestead, and then being able to write that stuff off on your taxes. Everybody does it. Everybody. If you only knew how many Democrats, and I've told you before, take advantage of conservative ideologies, you'd be amazed. It's all hypocritical. Let me take a second to talk to you about Patriot Addict. Let's see which is, okay, we got to do it here. And the button, so yeah. Folks, Trump is finally back in office, and it's only going to get better from here. As a celebration, Patriot Addict is sending our free Trump red knives to those people who voted for Trump. Just scan the QR code right over here to get yours right now. Right now, you can get this $70 value for just the cost of shipping, just like $13.99, I believe. And now we also have a website for you to take a look at, which you can order it right there specifically for the Trump knives. This is just their way of saying thank you for supporting him and being a part of this moment in history. Normally this knife retails for $70, but right now you can grab it just for the cost of shipping. Scan the QR code over here or visit berryknife.com to apply your 100% off coupon and claim your Trump knife today before they're all gone. And that's berryknife.com. And those of you who haven't seen it, here is what the Trump knife looks like. And it's pretty cool. And it's, as I've done my hand modeling before, it's quite heavy. It's durable. I mean, it's really, really strong. Don't want to cut myself. It's very sharp. Let me open that up. Boom. I can just try to bend it. You see, it's not bending. To give you an idea of the size, you just saw the video. Those of you that didn't know I was that big. Yeah, this is about, about 10 inches from the base of my palm to the top of that knife. 10 inches. Anyway, it has... It also has a thing where you could like cut off your seat belt right here if you get stuck. Don't want to stab myself, and it's got a window thing where you can break a window should you get caught someplace, hopefully not underwater like some people do here. You'd be amazed how many people drive into the water down here. It's a common occurrence, and then they can't get out because, of course, their power windows don't work, and it's like, what do we do? What do we do? Well, if you had a Trump knife, you could go bam, 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 and break that window and swim to safety before the alligators come. So then you would take your knife out, because once the alligators start coming towards you, you better be able to do something with it, because he's going to eat you. So this thing has so many applications. You can multitask with it. You can break a window. You can cut a seatbelt, and you could probably save your life from an alligator. all at the same time. I'm telling you, it's so durable. It's something that you're gonna want to own. I like to have fun with people. So anyway, oh gosh, let's continue. All right, not for Tesla vandals. Well, what you do with it is your business. Someone's going to scratch up your car. And get some. Definitely get some. You should do a commercial like that, Barry. Oh gosh, you must have big feet. Yes, I have big feet. So anyway, the only reason why I mention that, and I mention it in jest, but the only reason I mention it is because of this interview that I'm going to show you right now, because I wanted you to know, yes, I am imposing. I can be imposing depending on who I'm talking to, and I just wanted to make this woman just feel comfortable. So without further ado, it's a short interview, but let's listen to her. Oh, that's still we're still looking at cars. Okay. I stopped here because, like I said, they're not from here. Okay? She's wearing a mask outdoors in the bright sunshine of South Florida, next to a guy who ain't got one. So somehow it's going to bypass her and grab him if it was still around or if it was real to begin with. Whew. Wow. The signals are there. When we go out, we go to a movie theater, go to a restaurant, do something. The signals are there. You ain't from here, are you? Yeah, you're an alien. You might not be one of those kind, but you're definitely an alien. You're not from here. You can blame this one on Robin. Robin was like, "Oh, I gotta get this. I gotta zoom on her. She must have been so hot. It's 90 plus degrees, maybe 95 in the sun, and she got an N951 65 cube mask on. Whew. Serious about it. Strapped hard." What were these people thinking? Probably got some alfalfa in the pocket, something like that. All right, here we go. I'm gonna back off, let you guys hear this for yourself. They saw me walking up. Let me just set the stage. Their car is that one next to her, right next to her, that brown car. I got out of my car and I saw them all, getting ready with their signs. They were all set to go. And I'm like, "I'll let you hear it." So, what is it you guys are protesting?
What are we protesting? You mean you don't know?
No, I'd just like to hear from you. What are you protesting?
Who are you?
My name is Barry.
Okay.
This says it all.
So what exactly are you protesting?
We are protesting the tariffs. We are protesting the disappearances of people who are here legally.
People legally have disappeared?
Yeah.
Yes.
Legal resident.
Permanent residents.
What legal residents have disappeared?
Okay. Come on, let's go.
Oh, you guys don't want to talk?
Are you some news agency?
I'm just asking you.
Newspaper.
Where are you guys from?
The government has already conceded that they've been.
Boynton. Where are you from?
Same.
Oh, okay. Nothing to say.
Just changing subjects for 1 second.
So they just alluded to the fact that the government has been snatching people off the street who are legal residents of the United States. And I knew right away where I was going with this because I watched the press conference and I know exactly what's going on. The people on the left, nope, they just parrot what they're told. And as you saw, you ask them one or two questions and it's gotta go. Well, hey, I thought we were having a conversation here. What are you here to protest? What am I here to protest? Yeah, what are you here to protest? Illegals being disappeared off the street. Number one, he's not disappeared. They deported him. Number two, maybe you should know more about what you're talking about.
The administration has expressed a complete confidence in how all the deportation flights to El Salvador were conducted. But now that the administration has conceded that there was an error of one Salvadoran national, will there be any reviews conducted? And does the president express any thoughts on the one error that was disclosed in court last night?
See, this is where the lying media, it's all these people here. These people heard that there was an error. Somebody wasn't supposed to be deported. But they didn't hear the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey used to say. Somehow they just stop. And they don't hear the answer from people, including the same judge. And you heard the guy walk away. You don't even realize the government already acknowledged there was an error. What error? You may be a little bit surprised in understanding what error there was. And maybe you don't know, because people just only talked about the error. Well, here's Caroline Levitt.
Well, first of all, the error that you are referring to was a clerical error. It was an administrative error. The administration maintains the position that this individual who was deported to El Salvador and will not be returning to our country was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang. That is fact number one. Fact number two, we also have credible intelligence proving that this individual was involved in human trafficking. And fact number three, this individual was a member, actually a leader, of the brutal MS-13 gang, which this president has designated as a foreign terrorist organization. Fact number four is that foreign terrorists do not have legal protections in the United States of America anymore, and it is within the president's executive authority and power to deport these heinous individuals from American communities. It is a promise he campaigned on. It is a promise he is keeping, and every single person in this room should be grateful for that, considering especially MS-13 is very prevalent and prominent here in the District of Columbia, in Maryland and in Virginia, and the president, the attorney general, everyone who has been involved in these operations is focused on eradicating these criminals and terrorists from our communities.
The vice president said he was a convicted member of MS-13. What evidence is there to back that up?
There's a lot of evidence in the department.
He was convicted? I mean, that's your evidence he was convicted? I don't know. How am I supposed to explain that to you? Do you not know what the word convicted means?
Department of Homeland Security and ICE have that evidence, and I saw it this morning.
Deportation have been...
All right, so that, if the people had given me a chance, because obviously I cover a lot of this on a daily basis, if they had given me a chance instead of running away, I would have told them, hey, did you realize this guy was deported to the wrong place in error? He wasn't deported in error. Whoever you watch for news didn't tell you that. you just thought for some instance that they just rounded up some guy and tossed him into El Salvador. No, not the case. So if you didn't believe Caroline Levitt, how about the Homeland Security Director, Kristi Noem? I would have told him this.
Problem if you have the authority to deport him, and that's a whole other issue. But why is there a complaint about him?
There was an administrative decision that was made that was inaccurate at the time based on a judge's order for where this individual could go. But he was a gang member, a violent criminal, definitely a member of one of these terrorist organizations, and did not belong in this country and needed to face consequences. So it wasn't a question on his history and if he was dangerous and he shouldn't be in the United States. It was where should he go?
Unquestionably an illegal alien. This was unquestionable.
Okay, so now you've heard from the White House press secretary, and you heard from the lady at the director of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. That's in case you didn't ask the judge himself. The judge himself, I would have told these people, there's a lot of misinformation out there. A judge issued an order for Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be removed and could be sent anywhere except El Salvador. He also agreed, the judge did, that this man is an MS-13 member. I'm sorry, these people didn't know that. He can be deported. The judge didn't want him deported to El Salvador. He can go anywhere else. There was no revocation of being deported. It was a revocation of, hey, you put him in the wrong jail. So at that point, they're going to say, hey, where can we send him? And I loved what Caroline Levitt said. I don't know if you guys heard what she said when the judge said, you got to be back here by Monday. And he's like, well, then maybe you need to call El Salvador. Because now that he's there, we got nothing to do with it. But you put him in the wrong jail. Okay, well, then you need to ask El Salvador if they want to put him in a different jail. That's if he's still there. Who knows? But now the vice president even confirmed it.
A person who broke the laws to get into our country. This is unquestionably a person an immigration judge had found had zero right to be in the United States of America. We do not ask permission from far-left Democrats before we deport illegal immigrants. We do the American people's business. And
Watch. What media do I watch?
All right, so I just wanted to put that in there because I wanted you to know I did not get caught with my pants down. These people did know. So I'm standing there taking pictures of something else, and this guy decides he's going to break bad on me. Okay, let's see.
Fox News. Oh, really? So you know that just by looking at me?
Yes.
Caught him, didn't ya? So you know that just by looking at me? Yep. And then he realized right then and there, I stepped in it. This guy's black.
Oh, by what you said. Okay, so let's talk about what you said. I don't know.
I didn't hear you.
That's what I asked. What exactly do you have a problem with the tariffs? Pardon me? What problem do you have with the tariffs?
Well, one problem is I've lost a whole lot of money.
How?
I have money invested. My investments have lost a whole lot.
Okay.
All right, so what I say here, I want to give you the ammunition to talk to any other liberal out there who tells you the tariff has lost them money.
How?
They've declined in value.
Value. So you haven't lost, you've declined value. Value is different than losing.
No, I've lost a whole lot of money.
Did you sell what you have?
No.
Okay, so you haven't lost it, it's down in value. There's a difference between losing, like if you had a house and the value of the house went down, you still own the house, so your potential is to make that money, that value back. Is that not correct?
I agree.
You didn't sell the asset, you still have that asset.
That's right.
All right.
Don't have the asset.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to say.
At that point, it was over. It was over. So all these people were yelling like I'm losing money and blah, blah, blah. One of the things you can say to them is, how April 15th is in what? Yeah, it looks like 10 days. And of course, your April 15th is going to be for, the year previous. But nonetheless, are you going to tell the IRS that you lost money on your investments because of the 401k dropping in value? You see, some people think value means cash. That's like saying equity is cash. It's value. It's not a loss. You're not even able to claim it as a loss. See, even people on Twitter are sitting here talking. If you don't know economics, you just end up letting yourself look stupid. I lost a whole lot of money. You still have it, don't you? And that's when it clicked in his head. Like, oh shit, I'm stuck. Yeah, you still have it. You haven't lost anything. Because it is not legal to say that you lost. Barry, how can you prove that? Well, maybe if people knew the IRS laws, they would understand they're making fools of themselves. So Barry decided I would pull it up in a very easy way for you to understand, and I put it into Grok. Let me show you how the question I asked Grok. What allows you, if you didn't know this, you're about to learn something. What allows you to declare a loss on an investment to the IRS? The very first thing, where's that drum roll from Tommy? The very first criteria to declare a loss on an investment to the IRS, you generally need to have a realized loss, not the Kamala Harris type unrealized, a realized loss which only occurs when you sell or dispose of an investment for less than your adjusted basis, typically what you paid for it. So if you didn't sell the stock, if you didn't empty your 401k, if you didn't sell your house, and then you actually realized a loss, it actually happened, then it's not a loss. Because otherwise you wouldn't have it anymore. You cannot declare a loss in the eyes of the IRS, which you people seem to love, if you still have the asset. You understand the difference there? I lost money. No, you didn't. You lost value. Those two things are not the same. Having been in real estate for a long time, I know. Because you cannot write off loss of value until you sell something and you decide you're going to depreciation tables and all this other stuff. But in any event, that's not the case here. Brother man there was talking and I said, you still have it, don't you? And something clicked where he realized, oh shit, I'm stuck. Yeah, I still have it. And he turned away. There was nothing else to talk about at that point. He's been had on camera. I lost a whole lot of money. Did you? Did you? You're on camera telling people that you lost money when you didn't. It wasn't realized. So what's the difference, Barry, between realized and unrealized? Realized is I have, the Trump knife. And I gave a collector $10,000 for this knife. And I paid the collector and I got this knife and I put it in its nice little case here and I'm, hold on to it, and Trump gets impeached or something else and this knife is only worth $20 on paper because there's no loss until I sell it for $20. And then I can say to the IRS, oh, I bought it for 10 and 10,000 and it's now worth $20. I've realized a loss. If I'm still holding this, you haven't lost anything. Not my words. You can't argue with this. It's the IRS, that's the law. To declare a loss on an investment, you generally need to have realized a loss, which occurs when you sell or dispose of an investment for less than what you paid for it. And then it goes on with how you do it. Sale or disposition, you sell the investment, stocks, bonds, or real estate, or otherwise dispose of it. Simply, look at this next sentence. Simply having an investment decline in value doesn't count. So everybody out there screaming all over X about how they lost money are flipping idiots. And you now can say, did you sell it? No. Then you ain't lost anything. 100%. The IRS dictates what a loss or a gain is, not you. So if you're out there saying you lost, did you sell it? Because there'd be someone who could buy it. Hey, listen, this stock went down like 50%. I'm dumping it. That's why so many investor brokers and stuff say, hold. Yeah, unless you want for some tax purposes to actually have that loss on your books, you hold, which means you still have the asset, which means you still have the ability to recover. And if you have the ability to recover, you have not lost. Your value has declined. And I knew it when I asked him. And that's specifically, I wanted to see if I could make it in layman's terms. That's exactly how the IRS looks like it. Simply having a decline in value, which is what I said to him. So you lost some value. You didn't lose any money. Yeah. Okay. Just was asking, buddy. Doesn't count until you act on it by selling. Did you know that? Maybe now you can tell liberals out there, like, hey man, you kind of screwed up. You really, really screwed up at this point by telling everybody how much you lost when you didn't even lose it. Let me see what you guys are saying here. All right, my brother is in Lakeland, Florida. He's been there for almost 4 and still not used to the weather too much. Yeah. Barry, I just asked Alexa, what is fascism? 3 meanings, and third meaning is a dictator. Yep. I just had this discussion with some Democrat friends screaming about their 401ks and stocks. For me, it was the easiest thing to delve into. Because he walked right into it. Why do you hate the tariffs? Well, it's caused me to lose lots of money. Dude, number one, you don't look like you got a lot of money, but that's another story. Number two, how? And at that point, I had him pretty much trapped. Thank you, Barry. I've learned something new. That's what, and again, go look it up yourself. Get armed. The best thing I can do for anybody is provide you with information and arm you, because the media is going to lie. Oh, this guy got deported. He was supposed to be deported. He went to the wrong jail. He ain't coming back. All right? That was their first argument. Number two, you ain't lost any money on tariffs. And this took place in a couple minutes. That's all it was. Let me see if I can go finish it off, because it was just kind of fun.
Decided to come down to
You're
this.
here? Did you say that?
That's what I said.
Yeah, you're the one who doesn't know why you're here.
Okay, no, I know why I'm here. I know exactly why I'm here. This lady says I don't know why I'm here. Okay, okay, let me tell you why I'm here.
Why are you here? Your question is, why are you here?
Right. So you want to know why I'm here?
Yeah.
I'm here to film people who obviously have been misled by the media and have no idea exactly what's going on.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it was so short, but they kept running. Okay, then. Yeah, this guy knows too much. I'm out. And Robin's sitting there laughing. She's like, I look like a big old teddy bear, and the lady felt comfortable walking up to me. Why are you here? Oh, okay. I just told Brother Man what we were doing. Yeah, I talked to him about his tariffs, and I talked to you earlier about the immigration guy that got deported. Whew. Very short. At that point, we're like, Rob, she's like, this isn't going anywhere. And the other people around are now knowing that, hey man, watch out for this guy. This guy? Don't ask him. Don't talk to him. So next time, I am going to get me a mic, one of those, thing, and I'm going to walk around everywhere, provided it ain't 100 degrees in the sun, because it was hot as well for me too. But at the same token, you now know these people have nothing. And you don't have to get into an argument. Forget on Twitter. Everybody's got, keyboard muscles. I'm talking about someone at your job, your family member. Just smile at them. Just smile. Come across completely unopposing. Hey, Jim. Hey, I understand that you're really pissed off. And ask the question. Just smile. And still, I guarantee you, 2, 3 questions at a time. And just follow up with what they said. You don't even have to bring anything else into the conversation. Like I was talking to that guy. Hey, why are you here? The tariffs. I lost the money. Okay, I'm using what he said. How did you do it? How did you lose money? Huh? I lost a lot of money. Really? How did you lose it? And then you just let them talk, and then they realize at that point they don't make any sense to themselves. So as we're seeing this, and this is a common thing. I looked at some of the other protests across the country, and I'm seeing the same thing. Crazy people screaming, angry, absolutely nuts, with no reason to be there other than they've been fanned up by the media. And you realize at this point, we're in such a bad way because the media is just completely gaslighting so many people that they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. Pray for them. They need prayer. At this point, when you're seeing people who are doing things like the Bob Hope thing is, they don't even know what they're doing. I mean, that's like the best video ever. Let me see if I can let you hear that again, because I listened to that and I just said to myself, that's what Democrats are. Where's Bob? Where's Bob up here? Is Bob here? Wait a minute, I'll find it. And it just really sets in when you hear that. Here, listen to this again. Because tell me if what you've seen thus far and what you've seen on your own, this doesn't absolutely describe Democrats.
You live here? Yes. Well, maybe you know what a zombie is. When a person dies and buried, seems a certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
Horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
Yeah. Not knowing what they're doing, blindly following orders, not using their own powers of perception, and just being told blah, 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 blah. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, pray for them. They are easily misled. Maybe we should figure out how to sue media companies that gaslight. They know what they are told to do, and say not why. Yep, just do it. It's cognitive dissonance. Yes, you're absolutely right. These people are sick in the head. Oh, you're going to see. At least the people I spoke to weren't nuts. I'm getting ready to show you some of the other protests around the country, and they're nuts. I'm glad we don't live in a blue area. I'm actually feeling kind of blessed that all we had to deal with was, a couple of nut jobs who were actually calm. They're older, and they weren't ready to, kill you or take off your head. So I was happy that people are freaking nuts. Yeah. I love that skit. I forget what movie that's from, with Bob Hope. It should be played on a loop everywhere. They're zombies. They are truly zombies. Wow. and there were a whole bunch of them. The Dems should be suing mainstream media. Yeah. What movie was it? I'm not sure what the movie was called, but it's I'll find out for you. But it was Bob Hope. Perfect line to use. What else here, Barry? Can we get back the Smith-Mudd Act? We can get it back if Congress would actually do something. I mean, you heard me talk to Nancy Mace yesterday. You guys gonna do anything? It's crazy. Gina says she lives in a blue state. It's horrible. And the hive mind that all these people gravitate to, who thinks that, I don't know, Rachel Maddow is the second coming of, a Messiah or something. She says something, or some of these people on MSNBC, they don't even bother looking. They don't even try to do their own research. That's why I'm so high on whenever I say something is go look it up yourself. Did Barry just show us this thing about IRS and how you realize the loss versus value, loss of value doesn't count? No, don't believe me. Go look it up on the IRS website. See when a loss is actually a loss. Most people don't know. And so they're out there on Twitter going, we lost all kind of money. No, you didn't. No, you did. That's a funny thing. I'm in California, and it makes me mad trying to save to get out. And group psychosis is very dangerous. Yeah, if these people weren't so old and so docile, I mean, the woman was the one who kept wanting to come up to me. The men didn't want no parts of it. And I understand my size. I can be imposing, but I was smiling. She was the one that Robin was, hey, back off. Don't be stepping to my husband. I was like, go ahead, girl. You go ahead. Robin was going to make sure that she didn't do anything. The guys, that would have been me, but they just stayed way over there. They're not going to say nothing to this dude. That's down here. Up north, they got some crazy people. I mean, just... I feel for people who live in some of these blue states. She's an angry female, Rachel Ufa. Google says the movie was the Ghost Breakers of 1940. Imagine that. 1940, thanks Tats, 1940. So you're talking something that's, what, at this point, 85 years? My math is correct? He said that 85 years ago. They inserted that line into a movie 85 years ago. How's that? That tell you something? Does that tell you something about Democrats? That they inserted that line in some obscure movie, probably more than likely Bob Hope ad-libbed it. It probably wasn't even in the script. And it's just iconic. Because they were dealing with it back then and realized these people were absolutely crazy. All right, so what I'm going to do here so I don't keep you guys here all night, my next thing, I'm actually going to go to my 10 spot because it's a little bit long. So I want you guys to hear some of the things that happened in other protests.
Here's the big finish. 10 stories that you just got to hear. Number 10.
To the criminal charge of rape. He is credibly alleged of having a 14-year-old girl. Is that what you want for your president?
Absolutely not. Right?
See, I couldn't have dealt with that. Fire-breathing crazy guy. Absolutely crazy. I forget who this woman who was interviewing him, but dude, you're going to blow a gasket. You're crazy.
Yeah, which one are you guys talking about?
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
You're good, my friend. You're good.
I was talking about our alleged president, our fascist, Nazified, idiot, moronic.
The Mango Menace?
Break our NATO alliance, turn our allies against us, steal our money, throw 71 million people off Medicaid.
Thank God, thank you for watching out for me. Thank you for making sure I was in Boca Raton today. Because I had such an easy time of it. I hope this woman who was doing the interviewing had some big burly guys behind her, because that's insane. I didn't have to deal with any of this kind of stuff. The guy looked like he was going to hyperventilate. He screamed. All she did is ask him a question. They are literally that on edge and make no sense whatsoever.
People depend on 71 million people. Is this what you want? Do you want money taken from your grandma? Do you want to not support battered women and abused children? Is that what you believe? Stand up and say it, fascist. Stand up and say it.
He and I probably would have ended up tussling or something, because I'd have laughed at his face. I'd have been like, you're nuts. You're absolutely... Your elevator stopped. Not at one floor stop. Your elevator stopped like 4 stores too low. Oh my God. And dude, you want an aspirin? Something? Because you like about to blow a gasket here. And good thing this wasn't in South Florida, because he'd have been like bright red and he probably would have fell over.
I'm standing up and saying what I believe. You stand up and say what you believe, and not platitudes, and not idolatry. Let's hear ideas. You have no ideas. All you have is hate, racism, stupidity, and greed.
A round of applause.
These people are broken. When you see people like that with absolutely no self-control, that are just rambling and screaming for no reason, and this poor woman, she's just out there doing her woman on the street thing, and she happened to stick the microphone in front of... She got some good footage, but oh my God, this guy was nuts. Absolutely stark raving nuts. I love her face here. She's like, I got one. It's like going fishing, and you like fish on, and you're like, oh, that was just a little tiny fish. Oh, and I got a big one. She just caught a big one. She caught a flaming big one, screaming, crazy, nut. And that's when you turn to the person running the camera going, did you get that? Please tell me you got that, okay?
Right there, he has been waiting a while for that. Yeah, that was great. What do you think about the vandalism that's going on at Tesla dealerships around the country? And we're not the TV, so you can say whatever you want.
I still for no violence unless we're pushed. I mean, they want us to do violence so they can declare martial law. So that's why I'm against the violence. They are police officers? Okay. Do you want my name?
Okay, I didn't see that part. She does have 2 big guys standing behind her. That's the only reason that guy had the wherewithal to say, okay, she got 2 big dudes behind her. I'm going to chill. I'm going to go over here. That's how you deal with these nuts. You want to scream? Go ahead and scream. Don't step to me. Don't do anything stupid, because these guys back here are going to eat you for lunch.
What are you guys out here protesting today? What's the #1 thing to be anti-Elon for?
Stop the oligarchy. We want Americans. He's not elected, and he has no business doing what he's doing. We don't want the billionaires taking over our country.
Are you trying it? Oh, let me get you on Facebook. Hold on.
Yeah, we're stopping the oligarchy. That's what it's all about.
Did you feel that way?
They pit American against American so that they can pick our pockets.
Did you feel that way when Kamala Harris actually got more donations from more billionaires than Trump did?
I felt like I had a buffer, at least with the Democrats. Now we have no buffer.
What in the hell does that even mean? It was okay that Kamala got a whole bunch of money because we had a buffer. Who? Who is the buffer if she had won? Please tell us all. We would love to know how Kamala Harris was going to be the buffer. He's got swastikas. He's got all kinds of stuff. And they can't have rational conversations. I knew it. I was happy to try and get someone to talk to me because I keep saying, I'm like, is it really like that in the public? Is it like that in the wild? Can I walk up to somebody and smile and say, hey, can I take a second and talk to you? Yeah, okay. Why are you so fucking nuts? I'm sorry, did I say that loud?
9. So what makes Trump a fascist?
I just want you to imagine. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, wash your hair, most of us do. You're like, I'm going to go to a protest today. Yeah. You believe in what they're going to be protesting about? Yeah, I'm all for it. What are you for? I'm anti-fascist. Okay. What's a fascist? Huh? You just told me you want your sign. Yeah, I'm down with fascism. What's a fascist? They don't know. I've seen so many of these things that it made me go out and do it because I was like, they can't really be this stupid, can they? I mean, I know I've had some trolls on Twitter and trolls in the chat here, but they can't really be like this in person, can they? Yeah, they really are. And also, look at the lady in the back here. Yeah, she got a full mask on. I'm outside and I got a full mask on. I haven't gotten over 2021. How can you possibly rationalize with people who are like this? I've never in my life encountered someone who I didn't ask them a question, who had no idea why they were doing what they were doing, where they were doing it. Hey, why are you in school? Well, I'm here to learn. Thanks, good question. Hey, why are you at this restaurant? Oh, I like their steak. Great. Why are you at this rally? Oh, hey, down with fascism. What's fascism? Huh? What? Listen to this dude.
What makes Trump a fascist?
He does things without
You gotta talk loud. I don't have my mic on.
I'm not really good into interviews.
Sorry?
He just does everything he wants and not following laws or he's a convicted felon. That's all I know.
But your sign says he's a fascist, and I'm just curious what makes him a fascist.
One of the things is that he's trying to control the media, right?
And this is another thing that they do. When, as you saw, when one person is getting to the point where they're boxed into a corner completely, and like, I have no idea why I'm here, okay? I had the check cleared, they told me to come up and carry this sign, and then right away someone else who thinks they know better, they're going to step in, they're going to be the ones who, tell you what's really going on.
Say that again?
He's trying to control the narrative.
How is he trying to control the media? Doesn't every president try to control the narrative?
They try to control their own narrative, but one of the things that Trump's has done, for example, is the renaming the Gulf of Mexico.
He renamed the Gulf of Mexico. Of all the things you think you're going to protest about, that's the hill you're there to die on? Or is that all you could think of? The Gulf of Mexico? Seriously, bro?
And not allowing the Associated Press to come into the White House. Basically, trying to get...
What are your feelings about him renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America when a majority of the Gulf is, in fact, on the coast of America as opposed to Mexico?
I mean, it's kind of pointless. People...
Is it pointless?
Yeah, people...
I want you to think in your life how many things that were pointless in your mind, things that you thought were pointless, that you were willing to go protest for. It's pointless? Yeah, it's pretty pointless. Then why are you here? If it's not worth it, if it's completely pointless, why the hell did you get up this morning, drive or take a bus, whatever, and come here? Because you just said it's pointless. That would have been my next question to him. That's why I keep telling you, let them talk and then just ask them about what they just said. Most of the time, what you're realizing or watching are people who, they're not functioning. It's not clicking. And they're realizing they're stuck and they're trying to look stupid. And cameras freeze people. Because now I got you on camera. I'm going to put it all over the internet. So, you sure about this? You came to a rally or a protest about something that's pointless? Is that what you're really saying here?
Well, the Gulf of Mexico, what's the
Don't you
point
think it could have a positive tourism impact potentially?
Tourism has been down heavily.
So I don't want to get into a tourism debate. My question
Excuse me while I pick a stat, a pointless stat from deep in the bowels here. And here's my tourism is down significantly. You haven't been to Florida. I can't tell you about the places on the Panhandle, but what? Tourism is back so big in Florida. We're about to do away with property tax and not income tax, property tax and sales tax. So what?
The sign says the fascist Trump regime must go.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious what makes him a fascist. You pointed out that maybe something about his relationship with the media, he wants to control it, but how again, you're calling him a fascist.
Yeah, well,
what makes him a fascist?
One of the core tenets of fascism is creating an enemy, right? And blaming those problems on
What's that?
Oh, yeah, neighbor gave me, yeah.
Who gave you?
Excuse me. Let me pull out the cheat sheet they gave me. What's your question? Number 4. He's a fascist because... How can people be... Come on, man. They make it too easy. The guy pulls out a cheat sheet because they're buried at this point. They have no idea what they're talking about. They are talking to the most stupid of population. And they're just out there for a good time and hanging out. Maybe we'll meet some chicks or another dude or something. Probably. But in any event, they're not there because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're there because it's just a cool place to go. Hey, let's hang out at the protest. Yeah, that sounds cool.
The people that gave me the sign. It's a free sign.
Oh, someone gave you the sign, and then they gave you the handout. So are you reading it now to try to answer the question?
Yeah, but I mean...
Can I see that? Can you hold that up?
I'm just
curious.
You can have it.
I can have it?
Yeah, you can have it.
All righty.
This is the kind of stuff the media will never show you. The stuff I did, and this person here, and the other lady, with the guy who was screaming at her, media's not going to show you these people. But they got their own crazy people they're going to show you, who I'm going to show you in a little bit. This is insane. We are watching an insane part of our population. We are watching the breakdown of humanity. These people have no idea why they're there, no idea what they're saying, no idea what to do, and they're just out there. They're literally zombies.
So where did you get the sign?
All the way in the gatekeeper's house.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just pretty cool.
And that's another one? They gave you 2 pieces of paper?
Yeah.
They have that one too?
Yes, you can have both.
Oh, okay. So what brings you guys out here today?
Just because I saw people were hanging out with people.
The same thing as everyone else, executive overreach.
So the dude realizes this guy's screwing up. Come up with number 7. Executive overreach. I question, can you define that? Huh? Can you define executive overreach? I'd love to know what the hell that means. Huh? Hold on a second. Okay. If I didn't see this stuff myself in person today, I would say some of these people were faking these videos, but I saw it. Me personally, Robin was there. We saw it. They have no clue. So to me, that's a problem. It's a problem because how do we succeed as a society? How do we advance from where we are right now and move forward in any shape, way, or form, having unity moving forward? It's impossible. It is absolutely impossible. Many of these people are never coming back. They're never going to see normal again. So if those people who still have votes, and unfortunately who can still breed, and they're never going to return to normal, how the hell do we survive as a country? How do we get back to where we're supposed to be? I mean, obviously, it's going to have to be intervention from above. I mean, God's going to have to do some work. We're going to have to pray for that. We're going to have to say, God, can you touch these people's souls? Can you get inside their brains and let them know that they've been misled? I mean, I would say the same thing if there were people on the right, if there were people in MAGA who had no idea what you're fighting for. None. You're a mercenary. You're just walking out there as a zombie, just hoping. What? It's actually scary when you think about it. And I sat there today as we rode and as I walked around and took some pictures. I thought to myself, this is downright scary. You could be sitting next to one of these people in a movie theater. You could be sitting next. I mean, are we going to get to the point where it's going to be MAGA approved movie versus liberal approved movie, which it pretty much already is? I mean, some people want to take their kids to see Snow White. And they're holding their nose because the little kids might like the story, although they changed the story. Robin didn't even know this. Do you know there's no Prince Charming? It's so bad. Snow White is so bad, there is no Prince Charming. That's how bad they screwed this story. So if you're trying to put a wedge in the country and just basically cut it in half, how are we going to survive? Have people thought about that? At this point, I'm trying to figure out myself, how do we come back together? Right now, it doesn't look like we can. These people over here are so in the tank for, socialism, Marxism, communism, transformerism, immigrationism. They're all they got all the isms. And the other side are looking like, no, we want America. We'll continue.
Number 8.
Everywhere, all over America, people understand the stakes now. The entire country, as we know it, is on the line with these people, and they are in a full-blown effort to turn the government into a gangster state.
See, this is how Exhibit 1, why we will never, in my estimation, come back together as a country without divine intervention. When you've got congressional people on the Democrat side who have no problem fanning the flames and lying, what are we supposed to do? They don't want, you can obviously tell at this point, they don't want us to get together. They are doing everything they possibly can to make sure that divide stays or widens. They don't want us to be able to reach out to people, as hard as it is right now to reach out to people and talk to them and let them realize, hey, listen, you've been BS'd. You've been gaslit. You've been propagandized. It's not what you think. They're trying just as hard to continue the gaslighting. So it's such a counterproductive effort that's going on right now that it's scary.
And Donald Trump is doing everything in his power to disable the crime and corruption fighting capacity of the FBI and the Department of Justice, so he can just use it to go after his political adversaries. But meantime, the real corruption is just running amok, and these people are not opponents of corruption, waste, fraud, and abuse, as they keep saying. They are agents of corruption and instruments of waste and fraud throughout the government.
See, the same thing as he's talking is the same thing like talking to one of these people at their protest. Because he's on television where Jen Psaki is not going to ask him the correct follow-up. She's not going to say, can you show anything about corruption that you're saying that Elon Musk is doing? Or, even better, can you address that they have found all this money being dispersed all over the place? Do you even want to acknowledge that has happened? The other day, when they found out there were millions of Social Security numbers being given away and we can't trace who they were given to, do you even want to address that? And you as a so-called journalist, nope, we're not even going to ask the right question. Not going to ask it. It doesn't matter. Our job is to BS people.
Number 7.
Laura Loomer caught this guy. Nazis are back. Stand up. Fight back. Hands off our health care. And this dude, let's just say he was resting. Winky wink. He was just chilling out. Doing his best, I don't know, imitation of a crank yanker. You just never know. You're out there protesting and you see a hottie with the blue hair and the nose ring, and you're not sure whether it's a boy or a girl, but it's just enough to make you just feel that feeling you have when the fuzzies start going up your legs, and you're like, maybe I should crawl under this bus and just rub one off here. Ain't no wide open. Hey, let's get a shot of this guy. Maybe the blue hairs were just too much for him. It was too much stimuli. Oh boy. I can't show the license plate, but I just hope you're not packing anything someone might want to touch underneath there. Oh, the sound of trumpets. Come. Seriously, bro? Oh, God. Don't get out much. I feel like they should use that for like the Southwest Airlines commercial. Want to get away? Oh, boy. You're there for a protest. Oops! Whoopsie! Oh my God, he was having a moment. It sounds like, what was it, Kansas song? Only for a moment, but the moment's gone. Oh, help me. Help me with these people. It's just too much. I just can't imagine feeling like it's okay. Hey, this bus is unlocked. Let me crawl up in the bottom of this bus. Oh, God help us. I mean, is it not getting too much, people? I mean, it gets to the point where, maybe his knees hurt or something, and he was trying to find a way to get some rest, because it's kind of hard being out there. Oh, I try not to just show you like the nasty of things, but I just gotta show you. Let me read this from Krill. If you guys are in pain, I've tried to bring you a couple different things. I try to make sure that I'm actually using these things so I can feel comfortable talking to you about, because I don't like, you might be surprised, after going through all kinds of things when I was in college, and many of us did, I don't like pharmaceuticals. I don't like taking drugs. I don't like to advocate drugs. So I try to find things that actually matter, that things can help me with different pains. I go to stretch class 2 or 3 times a week. I work out. We're walking out in the hot sun. Anything I can do to stay healthy, and I recommend that you guys do the same. But nonetheless, sometimes my ankles hurt. My knee hurts quite a bit. So I'm always looking for something I can rely on to do different things with my knee. Having played football, you wouldn't believe, after being a power lifter and squatting close to 900 pounds and deadlifting close to 850, and then having a medial collateral ligament tear, arthritis has set in. Your boy has some knees that are just like ow, 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 ow. So for swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline, hey, Don't want to go there. Don't want to be like Joe. Did you know there are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation? And I can tell you from sitting in a chair for 2 or 3 hours at a time, you're like, wait a minute, man, kind of loose feeling in your toes. You got loss of blood circulation isn't cool. Before you reach for a bottle of ibuprofen, you may want to read that laundry list of scary side effects on the back of the bottle. It's ineffective, expensive, and downright dangerous, especially for seniors. Not there yet? Close. It's temporary pain relief, and it's only masking the true problem. To top it all off, ibuprofen doesn't even get to the main cause. Why? Which is the inflammation that you're experiencing. Right now, you can go to getkrill.com/Barry, getkrill.com/Barry for a special 66% off offer. Researchers are saying to add this Antarctic super nutrient to your diet. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These are omega-3 fatty acids sourced from wild-caught krill. Krill, I think they're shrimp or some sort of a food like that. The omega-3 content from krill oil has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as help reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. In fact, some report it outperforms ibuprofen and with no side effects. Better yet, for a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic krill oil for up to 66% off. Just go to getkrill.com/Barry right now to get this special free shipping offer. That link again is getkrill.com/Barry. We'll be back in 90 seconds.
Back to Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
All right. Somebody, CJ Hill says, that's a bay under a commercial bus. I used to be a commercial bus driver. You're not supposed to be on there, under there. It's for luggage only. Yeah, something else it's good for now, I guess. I guess. Let's see what we got. Barry Krill in it tonight. Used to feed my fish freeze dried krill. They loved them. Yep, exactly. Just over, what's this? Just over 100 days, my fellow fascist. Hasn't this been amazing so far? Yes. And because you said that, let me go here.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
Had to sneak that in because, yes, we need to win more. All right, so let's continue with the 10.
Number 6.
If the president doesn't try to reach out and reward these countries and companies that play by the rules, then the 1987 scenario, the one where we went down 3 days and then down 22% on Monday, has the most cogency. We will not have to wait out too long, will we? We'll know by Monday. Fortunately, we had an excellent set of employment numbers today. At least it makes it less likely a crash will necessarily lead to a recession. But if President Trump stays intransigent and does nothing to ameliorate the damage that I saw these last 2 days, I'm not going to be constructive here. I will contain my anger, but only because I lived through 87, and in the end, I came out okay. I was in cash for the crash. I know what this feels like. Oh, and if Europe moves against our fabulous tech companies next week, then I will be furious. That I promise you, because it should not happen.
Now, I just wonder why they didn't have the disclaimer on the bottom of the screen. The disclaimer that says, "Hi, I'm Jim Cramer, and I'm owned by all these companies." And then you could have rolled the credits as to all the companies he's personally invested in. See, this is one of the problems I'm having with all the people who are screaming about the tariffs and how the tariffs are going to make you lose money and all this other kind of stuff, is because they're not telling you they're invested in some of these things that are losing value, not money. What's his name? Jim Cramer didn't say he was selling his assets. I'm going to be pissed off if he goes after the tech stocks. Well, you know, if you're going to be pissed off, go ahead and sell them off now. Since you're expecting on Monday for this, and this to happen, and then it's going to continue to slide, sell it. Come on television and say, listen, I have a position in Microsoft, and I decided to dump my Microsoft stock. But you won't say that. Because just like with everybody else in the game is hold. Unless you find out the CEO slept with a little boy, or he's got goats in his bedroom or something, and he's been stealing money, most people understand hold, get through it, go through the pain, come out the other side and see what happens. But no, Jim Cramer, you want to get on television and tell everybody, wait a minute, he mentioned what happened back in the real estate crisis of 2007, 2008. If you guys were in the game back then, whether you were buying real estate or if you were investing in stock, what happened? Just the opposite of what's happening right now. Back then, you had banks that were purposely giving people loans that they knew they could not afford. If you could fog a mirror, you could get a loan. They were pushing people, give them loans, give them loans, give them loans. And I remember talking to mortgage brokers, and I'm like, this is crazy. Because we were selling so many houses because we would put something on a market and we'd get like 10 offers. Literally, unseen. Boom, boom, boom would come through. I'm like, this is crazy. These people not going to be able to afford it. Remember those adjustable rate mortgages where, it's called the adjustable arm, and then all of a sudden you're only paying $500 a month, but in like 18 months it was going to balloon to like $2,000 a month, and you thought you could sell that house and then you wouldn't have to worry about the $2,000 a month payment, and then all of a sudden it came. And all these people, once those mortgages adjusted, you were screwed. And nobody, I told you, I used to walk in houses and people would literally, no BS, God's honor, literally hand me the keys. Like, wait there, we're moving, do what you want, figure it out, talk to the bank, here, what do I need to sign? Scout's honor. It was that bad. I would get a phone call, hey, can you come help me out? What do you need? I want to get rid of this thing. And go to the kitchen table with the wife and the husband, and I'm like, okay, so you're underwater about $100,000, and your mortgage just adjusted. You're done unless the bank wants to take a short sale. I don't even want to go through it here. All right. People couldn't believe me. They were just handing me keys. And I would call the bank and like, hey, listen, I'm calling about Fred's house. Yeah, you're not allowed to talk to us because, Fred's the owner and everything. No. Let me just explain to you, Miss Person on the phone. Fred has a mortgage with you. I now have the title to the property. Those are two different instruments. So you are now talking to the owner of the property. I suggest you get this mortgage off. Wait a minute. Excuse me. What'd you say? You're the owner? Yeah, I'm the owner. Want me to send you the deed? I'll send it to you. And most people didn't know that you do not have to be the owner on the title to be the person in the mortgage. So here's what's going to happen. if we don't come to a deal or a settlement, my guys who get paid to go after bankers are going to go through every single paper that you had Mr. Smith sign. They're going to look for any inconsistency in terms of if this was notarized, if you misspelled something. We are going to do everything we can to invalidate this mortgage and leave you high and dry. Or you can accept 50% on the dollar. That's literally how I'm not even going to tell you it all. But in any event, when the banks were accepting 50% on the dollar and losing their butt 5 times a day and twice on Sundays, guess what happened? The government wrote the banks a check and said, okay, we'll make you whole. So Kramer, when he's talking about what happened back then, it's a whole different ballgame. Trump's not writing any of these companies checks. He's like, we need to do a correction in the market. Here's what we're doing. Here's how it's going to work. If you lose some value right now, once we start going again, it's going to come back. But we're not writing any bailout checks. We're telling you to do business in America. Huge difference. Huge, huge, huge difference. And those of you who went through 2007 and 2008, who maybe had one of those mortgages, you're right now probably in the comment section going, yeah, that shit reset and we were toast. Absolutely toast. And the banks were basically rubber. There was a big lawsuit down here. They were just rubber stamping foreclosures. And it was so easy to go and fight them. Hey, listen, I know you rubber stamped this one, but you didn't file it within the 15th day. You didn't give this guy. Oh, it was just, I get on the phone like, Barry, what do you want? Literally. Barry, what do you want? What can we do to settle this? Okay, you take 60, take 50. And they would do it. They would simply agree to take half of what was owed, and I would get, never mind, you can do the math yourself. Sounds good. A lot of old people acting like fool. What happened? We're having a huge loud storm here, tons of rain. I'm still on. You guys think I'm not on? Barry, try not to stroke out laughing too hard. Nope. Okay. You guys hear me? Because it looks like, okay, banks are another Ponzi scheme, yeah. People had to be out of their minds to do an ARM. Absolutely. We are not bailing out the stock market. Nope. So sell it or move on. You guys scared me for a second. People are like, I don't know if he's still on. I'm still on. All right, let's go.
Number 5.
What you're watching here is one of the protests that happened. I believe this is in Washington today. And what was really interesting is I thought this was about Trump and Elon. When did it become, an all size fits everything kind of protest? We can go there about, women's rights, and we can go there about transformers' rights, and we can go there about Muslim rights. What do you guys... What are you protesting? And all size, all in one fits all does not make any sense. Oh, by the way, those were buses. So they were bussed in. There's a mask. Hell, more masks. Unbelievable. This stuff is unbelievable. There's another mask. These people are never coming back. Never, ever coming back.
Number 4.
Keep your hands off our rights and we will.
This is scary. This woman is one of the people who works for Randy Weingarten. She's one of the upper level people in the teachers union. She was the one like, all the things. We got to win all the things. Then she's right back at it.
Stop! We the people will stop because our children, our babies are depending on us. They're depending on us to be worthy of them.
I don't know what she's talking about. And if we can't decipher what the hell she's saying, how do the people there clap? What are you clapping for? Well, the babies, and we got to be there because they're depending on us. To do what? To do what?
Number 3.
Our course, so we are very big on the chanting, and y'all have all the energy today. So,
okay, this is at the Hands Off rally. Protests, Hands Off 2025, as you can see on the screen. This is part of one of the, things that happen nationwide. So I guess this is about Elon Musk, and it's about Trump, right? Right.
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
They call us a cult. These are the people who are calling us a cult. What in the hell are they talking about? We're the cult? No Trump, no KKK, no what? How did the KKK get put in this? I haven't seen anyone walking into any hall of Congress or any meeting with a hood. How is the KKK part of this? These people are lost. They're really lost.
No Trump! No KKK! No fascist USA! No Trump!
Fascism is alive and well and living in the White House, says the guy looked like he's wearing a military outfit. And then we've got another guy who's wearing a Luigi from the Mario Brothers hat, the L, the green L. And then we've got the rainbow flag back there. And then we got another person in the back with a mask. Indivisible Baltimore. I mean, what the hell are you talking about? And it's so easy to whip these people into a frenzy because they don't know why they're there. They're just thinking, you doing the chant thing? Yeah, okay. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist US. What does it mean? Anybody want to tell me what it means?
KKK, no fascist USA! Hell yes!
Number 2.
This one topped the cake for me. This one is when we should have seen fireworks going off. Socialism beats fascism. These are a group of people who have never gone to a history lesson, never gone to a civics lesson. These are people that they just bring out to these things and they hang out and they're holding signs all as far back as the eye can see that socialism beats fascism. So you're telling me, in no uncertain terms, now we know, you don't want to work. So you're not caring about the stock market or tariffs because they shouldn't affect you because you're a socialist. And because you're a socialist, why is it even...
Get down! DC is a union town!
What? You would be the people you would think would want to see capitalism go down, right? You're the ones who should be out there going, yes, I hope Trump crushes the stock market and people do lose all kinds of money because we do not believe in capitalism. We believe in socialism. So why are you protesting against the same guy that other people are there protesting, saying they lost their 401k, but you're saying they shouldn't lose their you need a scorecard. These people make no sense whatsoever. Never mind the fact that, do they not realize that socialism and fascism are pretty much the same thing? I mean, it's potato, I mean, what in the hell?
All right, now let's get down. Oh my goodness.
I can't help you. The only thing I think you can take from this, and I would love to hear it in the comments if you feel differently, is how do we come out of this? looking for the signs, and I don't see the roadmap to get away from this. These people are toast. They want socialism. They want Marxism. They want communism. They hate people with money. They're never, don't want to work, obviously. You wouldn't be a socialist if you felt like you could get ahead. You've given up. You've waved the white flag on life. And you've got all these Democrat politicians who are enabling that mindset. And it's starting to infect people who ordinarily wouldn't feel this way. I know these people who were here today in Boca. I saw the cars they drove up in. I showed you some of the license plates. I blacked out their numbers, but you saw they were Lexus. They were BMW. These aren't socialists. And I don't know about you, but I don't want people on my team who are working against me. You think you're just a Democrat, and right next to you is someone who's socialist. They despise you. You were a Democrat who came to this rally here in Boca today, in affluent Boca Raton, and you're here at the beach, and the weather's fine, and they flippin' hate you. And you think that you're part of the cause. These people would burn your house down if they saw where you lived. I'm telling you, this is one of the places I've lived in that doesn't have a ghetto. There is no impoverished area in Boca Raton. The lowest price area are duplexes along like the railroad tracks, and even those are selling for $500,000 and $600,000. They're renting out for $2,000, $2,500 for a 2-1 half of a duplex. There's no hood. None. There is no place where the underprivileged, the unhoused, there's no place in Boca Raton where that is. So they hate you. And they're having this, they're at the same rally in a different city, different protest, and they're telling you, we're for socialism, and you're driving a BMW and a Lexus. Does that make sense? Do you understand the disconnect at this point? You think you have a cause that you're out here for. You're 70 years old. You shouldn't be out in the hot sun anyway. You don't know what you're talking about. And the people on your side hate you. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, what are you all about? I'm about socialism and communism. What are you for? My 401k. I don't give a shit about your 401k. You need to be in the same position as me. Matter of fact, I need some of your money. What do you mean? See, when the guy told me, hey, I lost lots of money, that was one other thing I was saying. Should you even have it? I didn't say that to him because he had already walked away, ran away. But that was coming next. You lost money in your 401k. You know they don't even want you to have a 401k, right? See, that's the other thing. These people, they don't know what they're standing for. That you are standing for people. Remember what Kamala Harris said. I want to tax people on unrealized capital gains. You have a stock. It hasn't gone up yet, but we're going to believe it has, and we're going to tax you on that. You okay with that? And on the other side, you got people like, we need to tear it down. The oligarchy and the people who got money. And I'm thinking to myself, all of you coming up here probably living in an $800,000 or $900,000 condo or second home, and you got to the point where you have money, where you can fly back and forth from up north to down here. So you've got a second home. We call you Snowbirds, and you got people on your side who want to destroy you. Make that make sense. People aren't thinking. People are not thinking. I would not want to be on the same team as someone who wants me done for. They will kick in your front door. They will take your furniture. They will take your wife's jewelry. You don't deserve it. You stole it. It's stolen. You didn't have any wealth. Oh, Barry, they don't really say that. Oh, really? Listen to this congressman.
1.
We're all closer to being on the streets than having a bank account that looks like his. How do you think he got to where he's at? I have people who come up to me and say, Maxwell, why would they be stealing? Elon Musk is already the richest person in the world. He has enough money. The question is, how do you think he became the richest person in the world?
And there's a guy who's begging for a lawsuit. there's a guy who's probably going to see a lawsuit sometime soon, deservedly so. So the last thing I want to say to you guys, thanks for tuning in on a Saturday evening. How do you resolve that? From our perspective, how do we resolve it talking to people who want nothing to do with us and who are completely bat poop crazy? And how do they resolve it themselves? I'm pretty sure none of the people I saw today in Boca who afterwards ended up in the same restaurant as Robin and I. So I know, and we're not talking Bellagio, the restaurant down here is not a cheap restaurant. And I'm like, weren't they just protesting? What? Weren't these people out there going, yay, rah, rah? Why are they in here? Besides the air conditioning. Because if you looked yourself in the mirror and you drove over here with your Lexus and you have your second home on the beach, which is an $800,000 or $900,000 condo, does that not make any sense to you that you're for somebody who wants to see you completely eviscerated financially? Do you even stop and think, what was Kamala going to do? Oh, yeah, she was going to tax me out the yazoo. Oh, but I'm not worried about taxes because I live in Florida as my second home, and it's got all kinds of tax breaks. So you're a hypocrite. That's what you're saying. You probably registered your cars here, your other cars. You have someplace to live down here, your second home. You're making sure you take advantage of all the opportunities that a conservative state has for you. Meanwhile, your compadres, your communist buddies, are out there trying to do whatever they can to destroy what has made you the ability, that gave you the ability to have a second home down here. I would love to sit across from table from somebody and go, you realize when you got on that plane, you came to a different world. When you were up wherever, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, or New York, and you were talking to your liberal friends, and they all felt the same way, and then you're like, I got a plane to catch, I'm heading to Florida next week. You mean where Ron DeSantis is? And Marco Rubio's from? And Trump or Mar-a-Lago? You're going down there? Oh, you're going to be playing golf next week? Because you're retired. And I'm going to just say to them, you understand everything you just said, everything you own down here is what they want to take from you. I don't know. I agree. I've been saying that for a long time. We cannot survive as a country unless we figure out how to, I realize how controversial that is, but you tell me, which I don't know. I don't see, because of that cognitive dissonance of someone who drives up and parks a Lexus and goes to a protest. It doesn't make any sense. And I know it doesn't make sense to them because I saw some of their reactions. You're smart enough to invest, and then you realized you stepped in it when you went, oh, yeah, I still own it. Then shut up. You didn't lose anything. Trump asked us to take, what's that? Where's that about? Trump asked us to take videos of chemtrails and share all details on social media. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, point out their hypocrisy. Perhaps some are watching now. I hope so. I hope you, most important, Sippy goes, how do you play golf in 90-degree heat? They do. Most people get up and go golf early, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. There's basically nobody on the golf course at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're all out there in the morning. You want to be out there way early before that sun gets too high in the sky. That sun gets high in the sky and it gets real hot. Real hot. All the money they lost, how they get home. Exactly. These liberals are what it looks like, and they forgot how to communicate. The only reason it's hard to communicate is when you don't believe what you're saying. I mean, I can sit here, I've talked for 2 hours because I believe in what I'm saying, and I would love to have that conversation with somebody, but as you saw, not just with me, with other people who are out there, if you just ask a couple questions and you can literally see the life flow out of them because they realize there's nothing they can answer. I mean, you saw the guy. I said, do you still own it? Yeah, so you didn't lose anything, right? Oh, yeah. I'm going to go over here with my sign, okay? Yeah, because big black man makes me feel stupid. Exactly. I'm going to make you feel stupid. With a smile. with a smile. I'm not going to do it to try and hurt you. I'm doing it because I love you. That's what I'm going to say. Let me see here. Yeah, I have another one from Patriot Addict to take a look at, and then we'll do some super chatting. Let me see here. All right, so breaking news. The free Trump collectibles issued to all supporters because of the amazing feedback on the Trump knives. Patriot Addict has decided to come with something even crazier for a limited time. They are giving away their best-selling Trump mystery boxes for absolutely free. No hidden charges, no recurring fees, none of that, just cover the small shipping. Imagine unpacking Trump knives, Trump beanie hats, and who knows what else. Patriot Addict is doing this because they want to show their support for Trump in these tough times, and this also helps them clear out space in their warehouse for new items. This offer is only valid for you guys, my viewers, and Patriot Addict would not want you to miss it. Don't wait. Scan the QR code right over here now, or go to berrybox.com to grab yours. Again, that's berrybox.com, or just scan the code right here. Now, I just want to say, there have been some people who have been, what can I say, upset with the mystery box. If you get a mystery box, and sometimes it may not be a box, it might be a FedEx envelope. But if you get something and you're not happy with it, I'm telling you right now, email me or Ashley at showmail@fanfareshop.org. Anytime I get one of those emails, I send it right off to customer service. I personally, or Ashley personally, will contact Rumble and contact Patriot Addict and said these people are not happy with what they got. And there's all kinds of customer service issues. It's an online company, and so sometimes things break and things happen that not supposed to happen. So, with that being said, whatever I need to do to help you, if you get something that you're not happy with, by all means, let me know personally, or let Ashley know, and we'll get right on it. That being said, let me go ahead and look at the super chats right now. I hope you guys are getting ready for Easter. It's going to be fun, a lot of fun. Oh, by the way, wanted to let you know, let me go ahead and look at this. JJ has contacted me, Pastor JJ Perez. We are going to be doing a big prayer night on Holy Thursday night at 7 p.m. Thursday, let me see what the date is on this thing. Well, it's a Holy Thursday. What date is it? Hold on a second. April 17th at 7 p.m. April 17th at 7 p.m. We're going to be doing a prayer night, doing our part right there before Easter. And everybody can please, if you want to pray, if you need prayer, you want to give prayer, you want to help somebody who needs prayer, please join us April 17th at 7 p.m. Those of you who have been here for our prayer nights, you know they're pretty special. They're really special. All right, Stan Cherry, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Yes, indeed they are. Brian Newland, holy smokes, my sides. Oh, this must have been early. Bobo Yogi, hold this side and you get an extra pudding cup. Texas Grow, and I'm from Texas, and stepping out in Kissimmee, Florida felt like a raid force. Yep, it does. Yolanda Bacani, thank you very, very, very much. Wheat Supreme, no stream covering this has more than 200 viewers. Really? I'm surprised. Fume Drummer, hey, hey, ho, ho, why am I here? I don't know. Oh, Buddy Sam. And some of these things were huge. I think Boston had like 10, 20,000 people. New York, I mean, just crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, these people don't even know why they're there? Insane. Buddy Sanders, please make us a good professional protest music video. Okay. Larry 1754, this has to be the most entertaining, most enjoyable video you have posted. Get a remote mic, be our man in the street. More live interviews. I have to. I told Robin, I got the bug in me. I said now, instead of just going up and putting the phone up, I'm going to have to get a phone, and I'm going to have to find an adapter to go ahead and get the microphone. I'm all in. I'm telling you right now, I'm all in. Definitely going to do it. Linda Friesen, awesome, Barry. Thank you. Wheat Supreme. The Handoff 2025 map has been edited to only a handful of event locations this morning. It covered the national map. Oh, I'll bring that up in a second. Thank you for mentioning that. I didn't know they edited it. Wow. Ed Sloan, this is the best show ever, Barry. Love this format. You might have to get a remote mic and do this more often. Done. It's going to happen. The Dane Company. We had 60 of them here in Havre, Montana. Ours were locals except one from New York who had a megaphone, protested for an hour and left. 120 in Great Falls. Diane Torian. I bought 6 knives and 6 Trump coins yesterday for all my friends. Thank you, Barry, and your family. I watch you every day. Thank you very much. You're my news now. Texas Grown. Antifa and Quifa stole Charlie Kirk's tent at UC Davis. Yeah, I think they ran off in a group after Tatum put one down with the tent. I saw that. That was funny. Judith Klazak. Thank you very much. G. Fisher, they're all at home soaking in aloe, moaning and groaning. It was an extra hot. Jeff Monge, thank you. I am Planet Hermit. This guy is nuttier than a squirrel fart in an almond orchard. Oh, you guys are funny. Trumpinator, Barry, these people go to college and get brain dead and stupid. I'm going to have to cut that scene from The Godfather and make a clip out of that. You go to college and get stupid? Captain Danny, oh no, we've lost Boca Raton. The end is... That's why I had to go. I'm like, honey, this can't be real. Are they really going to do something in Boca? And I expected to go out there and see the Black Bloc and the Antifas, and I'm like, it's the no-tifas. The no-tifas was out there. Crazy man. Barry, I think Christina emailed you about a Bible. Yep, please use this to cover it. She came over to see me after yesterday's show. Oh my God, and accepted Jesus Christ as her Lord. Wow. Very nice, gray man. Trumpinator, these people are so smart, they're dangerous not only to themselves but us. Yeah, I'm not a PC. Mama Mima, Turning Point booth was torn up, property stolen, people assaulted, and police stood by and watched. Officer Tatum stepped in. Yeah, it was his booth. Absolutely. Mountain Goddess, thanks for the laugh, Barry. Anya Garbahawi, the proctologist looks like a mental facility on a field trip. 3540 crew. Bob Hope, the Ghost Breakers, that was the movie. I'm going to have to look up and watch that movie. Papa G95, bring us in some ways to cash out crypto. Will do. Donna, I'm shocked by the stupidity. I had my jaw drop for so long I realized I had my tongue dry. Oh gosh, it's too funny. Do you think these people would ever, Police 45, would be embarrassed for what they said or done or what they were there for? And so you don't realize you're on a city street. And that's another thing. You're on a city street. You have no expectation of privacy. And so if you're going to talk to somebody, you should at least have your stuff together. You should at least know what the hell, be ready. If you're going to be a Marxist, be a good Marxist. You can be a communist, be a good communist. Otherwise, you just end up looking dumb. And that just doesn't help anybody. I mean, that's just insane if you can't figure that out. Mel Porter, we trust in prayer. Indeed. Jennifer Nunn, thank you. Sherry Clem, Barry, they're all crying because they lost their capital gains that Kamala was going to tax them on anyway. That's how stupid they are. Jennifer Nunn, why are we not terrifying Russia? Why are we not terrifying Russia? Lisa, thanks Barry and Robin for the comedy show this evening. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was just too funny. Neo, thanks Barry, great show, so funny, love your stand-up. And Cynthia, thank you Barry for so much fun. Thank you guys for watching. Let me go to that hands-off map that they were talking about. Did they really just go back and let me see, re-edit it so that people didn't see how bad it was? Well, let's see here. I just pulled it up here. How's the map look? Oh, on my map, they still show all the dots all over the place. So I don't know what the ones in stars mean. I guess those must be the big ones, the ones with stars. Atlanta, yeah, of course, all the big blue states. Boston, what's this one? Cleveland or something? Detroit, Rock City. All right. So anyway, that's what I got for you this evening on a Saturday. Be careful out there. These people are nuts. Not sure where you live. Again, I'm here in South Florida, so not much for us to worry about. The no-tifas didn't have anything going on. They kept their dentures in their mouth. Everything was fine. Nobody got in any fight. There wasn't even a police presence. That's how you knew it was AstroTurf. There was no. I said you saw the police guy in one of the videos where he was just blocking so nobody would park in the police department's lot, and that was it. That was it, because they knew none of these people were going to start anything because they don't want to be in anything. It's too hot. They're going to pass out in the street. It was easy. But I'm definitely going to do it. I've decided I'm going to get a remote mic where I can walk around and talk to people. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I'm going to keep doing it. All right, everybody. We got the after show coming up. Thank you for tuning in. Talk to you tomorrow.
you.